So welcome to my channel Arun Kumar at Exam Guru. This video is on water resource engineering, another subtopic related to civil engineering. There will be 5 multiple choice questions related to the types of irrigations. Question 1. When the water is available at a higher level, it is supplied to the lower level by mere action of gravity is option A, flow irrigation, option B, lift irrigation, option C, perennial irrigation, option D, flood irrigation. What is irrigation? Irrigation is the process of applying water to the crops artificially to fulfill their water requirements. Nutrients may also be provided to the crops through irrigation. The various sources of water for irrigation are wells, ponds, lakes, canals, tube wells, and even dams. What are the types of irrigation? They are broadly classified into surface irrigation and subsurface irrigation. Surface irrigation, as the name suggests, is the irrigation done on surface, and subsurface irrigation is the irrigation that is done below the Earth's surface. Surface irrigation is further classified into lift irrigation and flow irrigation. Flow irrigation is further classified into perennial irrigation and flood irrigation. Perennial irrigation is further classified into direct and storage irrigation. Subsurface irrigation is classified into natural and artificial sub-irrigation. Let's look at the definition of irrigation. Number 1, flow irrigation, which is a subclassification of surface irrigation. When the water is available at a higher level, it is supplied to the lower level by mere action of gravity is flow irrigation. And the next type of irrigation is lift irrigation. When the water is lifted up to a higher level by means of a pump, then it is lift irrigation. Examples are wells, tube wells, etc. Number 3, perennial irrigation, which is another classification of flow irrigation in the system of water supply. Continuous and constant system of water supply is provided in accordance with the needs of the crop. Number 4, direct irrigation. When irrigation is done from direct runoff of a river or by diverting the river runoff into some canals by constructing a weir or barrage, it is known as direct irrigation. Now next comes storage irrigation. If a dam is constructed across a river to store water during monsoon so as to supply water in the off-taking canals during periods of low flow, it is termed as storage irrigation. Flood irrigation is a type of water system that uses a trench to redirect extra water from a stream during the flood. Subsurface irrigation. In this type of irrigation, the water is delivered directly to the root zone by pipes located below the ground surface. What's the difference between dam, weir, and barrage? A dam is a large structure built to create a reservoir and store water on a large scale, while a weir is a small barrier across a river or stream designed to raise the water level and control flow, primarily for irrigation or water diversion, not for large-scale water storage. Barrage is similar to weir, but the only difference is that it has adjustable gates. Let's look at the difference between dam and weir. The figure on the left shows the dam. It's a large obstruction designed to create a reservoir for water storage. Weir is an obstruction made across a river smaller than dams and primarily used to control water flow, measure discharge, improve navigation, and sometimes irrigation. Now, figure on the left shows weir and on the right shows barrage. It is similar to weir but has adjustable gates, as you can see in the figure. Now, what's the difference between channel and a canal? What's channel? Channel are natural waterways, whereas canals are always a man-made waterway built for transportation, irrigation, or drainage. In the case of channels, sides and bottoms are not lined with materials. In the case of canal, sides and bottoms are usually lined with materials. In the case of channel, the flow in channels is open to atmosphere, example river. In the case of canal, the flow in canals may be open to atmosphere or is under pressure, that is, canals can be a closed pipe. Even a small ditch through which water flow can act as a canal. If you look at the figure on the left, it is a channel, is a natural river, and the right is a canal. You can see the sides and bottom are lined with concrete material. And the figure on the left is that of a canal acting as a pipe, and the right is a canal that is open to atmosphere. Now, perennial irrigation, what happens to a river when a dam or weir or barrage is constructed across it? So there's a river in the landscape. Yes, we made a weir or dam or barrage across the river. So what happened? There is an increase in the volume of water upstream and there is a decrease in the volume downstream. Water is made available in the downstream regions through. So you can see there is upstream and there is downstream, and the water is made available from upstream to downstream through perennial canal, and there is irrigation in the downstream, and hence there is more development in the downstream side due to the availability of water. And you can see there are 4 buildings in the downstream side. Now what is inundation canals? You can see the ditches are made on the sides or on the banks of the river. So during flood, the water level rises and overflows the ditches. Inundation canals take water from a river without any regulating systems like weirs or barrage. What is subsurface irrigation? In the subsurface irrigation, you can see from the figure, the water is applied directly to the root zone, and this connection is below the ground surface. Question 1. When the water is available at a higher level, it is supplied to the lower level by mere action of gravity. The right answer will be option A, flow irrigation. Question 2. Which type of irrigation is known as irrigation by plots? Option A, free flooding. Option B, check flooding. Option C, border irrigation. Option D, basin irrigation. Now, what are the techniques of water distribution in the farms? Number 1, free flooding. Number 2, border irrigation. Number 3, check flooding. Number 4, basin flooding. Number 5, furrow irrigation. Number 6, sprinkler irrigation. Number 7, drip irrigation. Number 1, free or ordinary flooding. In this method, ditches are excavated in the field, and in this method, as the water leaves the ditches from the canals, no attempt is made to control the flow of water. You can see from the figure the water is flowing without any control. This method is suitable for rolling land, that is irregular topography. Number 2, border irrigation. In this method, the land is divided into a number of strips separated by low levees called borders. The levees have a height of 5 to 10 centimeters. So these are levees, low levees, whose total length varies from 100 meters to 400 meters, and the land areas confined in each strip is of the order of 10 to 20 meters in width and 100 to 400 meters in length, and it is clearly shown in the figure. This method is suitable when the area is at level gentle slope. The plants grown by this method are rice, wheat, sugarcane, etc. Number 3, check flooding. It's similar to ordinary flooding, except that the water is controlled by surrounding the check area with low and flat levees. As you can see in the figure, the low levees are provided. In the case of border flooding, the levees are provided only in one direction, but in the case of check flooding, the levees are perpendicular to each other. Since the entire area is divided into a number of plots by levees, then it is called irrigation by plots. The plants grown by this method are rice, maize, sorghum, etc. Number 4, basin flooding is a special type of check flooding method, and each plant is enclosed by circular ring levees called basins. So these are basins, and the water is flowing between the basins. Orchards are grown by this method. Number 5, furrow irrigation. Furrows are narrow field ditches excavated between rows of plants that carry irrigation water through them. In this method, only 1/5 to 1/2 land surface is wetted by water. You can see the furrows in the figure. and the plants are grown, and between the furrows the water is made to flow. Row crops such as corn, cotton, sugarcane, soybeans, etc. are irrigated by this method. Number 6. Sprinkler irrigation. This method comprises of applying the water in the form of spray through a network of pipes. So you can see in the figure, the water sprinkles over the crop. This method is more useful where the land cannot be prepared for any other methods. The slopes are steep, the topography is irregular, soil is erosive, water table is higher. Advantages of sprinkler irrigation: erosion can be controlled, uniform application of water can be possible, wastage of water is avoided as surface runoff is eliminated, highest water application efficiency is achieved, land preparation is not required, labor cost is reduced as less laborers are involved, water logging is avoided because more water is not used. The plants grown by this method are tomatoes, potatoes, cabbage, chili, etc. Number 7, drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is also known as trickle irrigation. In this method, water is applied in the form of drops near the base of the plant. So there are irrigation conduit pipes which allows the water to flow only to the root zone. It's the most popular method adopted in regions facing scarcity of water. Question 2. Which type of irrigation is known as irrigation by plots? So the right answer is option B, check flooding. Question 3. The method of irrigation most suitable for growth of potato is? The right answer is option C, sprinkler irrigation. Question 4. The method of irrigation most suitable for steep slopes is? The right answer is option C, sprinkler irrigation. Question 5. Which of the following statements are correct? Base period and crop period are equal. Option B, base period is always greater than crop period. Option C, crop period is always greater than base period. Option D, base period may be less than or greater than crop period. What is crop period? Crop period is the time from sowing the seed to its full growth. Base period is the time from its first watering after sowing to the last watering before harvesting. Let's take the example where we plant a seed at day 0. At day 1, the water is added. Now in day 5, the plant starts to come out from the seed, and this is after day 10, this is after day 20, and this is at day 35 when the plant is fully grown. In this example, the crop period is from day 0 to day 35, that is a total of 36 days, and for base period it's from day 1 to day 35, that is a period of 35 days. In this case, we have seen crop period, which is 36 days, is greater than base period. And question 5, which of the following statements are correct? The right answer will be option C, crop period is always greater than base period. So thank you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe and press the bell icon to receive more updates.